Well, as you know, I'm Sandra Best, and I'm with the Toronto Foundation for Student Success. And as you've heard, we're one of the partners that supports the 669 student nutrition programs that nourish thousands of children right across this city. And actually, I want to thank you today for your foresight years ago when you came up with some seed money for us and some continuing funding in order to leverage additional funding and to develop a partnership that other communities envy. This partnership is between the philanthropic sector, education, public health, and the provincial government, and they've all come together to nourish our children. So we thank you for that. And we understand that you're facing significant budget pressures, but this is truly a successful program that you should be very, very proud of. And a 10% cut to funding will have devastating effect. I'm not going to speak to you about the importance of nutrition because I don't think that anyone in this room wants to see any child arrive at school hungry. I don't think any of us want that. But I am going to speak to you about a point that's been made at one committee meeting, that we could realize efficiencies in food if we bought in bulk. And I'm here to tell you today that we actually, over 75% of our nutrition programs actually do take advantage of bulk buying programs. It's one way that we're able to stretch that dollar and really make it count. Because frankly, the volunteers who work in these programs, anyone who works in these programs will tell you, they know how to penny pinch. They know how to stretch this funding. It is the only way that these programs work. I'm going to give you a couple of examples of the kind of bulk buying that we do. Apples. We get apples for 5 cents per. And we get those apples, they're juice apples that can't be sold in stores. And the only reason we can provide them to the programs is because of a volunteer delivery and that bulk buying. I can tell you milk. We absolutely get bulk buying for milk, that our programs can serve milk for around 30 cents a serving. We get that because the Toronto District School Board leverages its buying power so that we can access that deal. There are many, many other examples, but there are also reasons why some programs can't access that bulk buying. One of those reasons would be that sometimes there's a minimum order of $300. A small program simply can't make that. And that minimum order, of course, as everyone here knows, is because of the cost of delivering with large trucks to programs would run between $50 and $70. That's the cost, which is why firms want minimum orders. Small programs can't afford that. They're sort of living on the edge, literally, as it is.
Thank you.
All right.
Okay, no questions? Oh, okay. Councillor. Councillor Fletcher, you can go first.
Thank you. Would you be able to estimate if the bulk buying actually had to be direct buying, the actual cost of the program? Do you have any idea?
It's 44 million. We couldn't possibly. It's around 44 million. That's what we.
Pardon?
Probably around 44 million if we didn't utilize the bulk buying. And I should also say, because I forgot one thing, so I'm just going to add it with your indulgence. Also, the small programs that we have, and many of the programs don't have the facilities to store large orders. They simply can't. They don't have commercial refrigerators. Yes. So I just wanted to make sure you understood.
So the fact is, I just want to go over that one point again that I asked earlier, because in looking at who gets served, it's the Toronto District School Board, yep. Toronto Catholic School Board, yes. The French school boards. Yep. In other words, that has to do with their kids are. We could deliver these programs at our community centers, let's say, because we could bring kids there, but actually children are in school. It's the way that we support children in the city of Toronto.
It's where we're going to reach the maximum number of children. And in fact, when we were in Ottawa recently, the federal government understood that schools were simply the delivery model because that's how we have the maximum impact.
So the biggest bang for the buck.
Biggest bang for the buck,
Thank
absolutely, you. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm so glad that you talked about the purchasing today, because it was the issue of the Budget Committee's review. Unfortunately, the person who's asking the questions is no longer in the room. But we're going to make sure he knows all this. So if you could just go over, so there are some small programs, you have to do these things, but is it fair to say, to satisfy your other donors besides the city, that program by program, in every program, you go through the value proposition, and whether you have to go to one local Costco or whatever, you go there. And even if it may be one local store, there's some donating that goes on as well.
Absolutely.
You get the value proposition, and then you build a community relationship, and you get the prices down.
I mean, I like to say, and it's true, this is really a loaves and fishes operation. It really is. Right. I mean, small amounts go a long, long way. And that is why any cut is really catastrophic to many programs.
Thank you for your long years of work in this program, women.
Thank you.
Thank you for your support again. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Carolyn Griffiths.